typical of Greek because nouns and verbs must agree in gender. In the Greek, the verb doesn't carry a gender. So even though it's translated here as he wills, it's just a verb in the present, indicative, middle, or passive third person singular. That's the morphology behind this word, bulatai. There is no really gender there, even though the translation underneath in the English says he wills. But technically, there is no he there. There's no personal pronoun that shows up there. It's just the verb. However, the participle, by comparison, although the participle, if you recall, a participle is kind of like a verbal noun. It's a combination between a noun and a verb, right? It carries kind of a little bit of both. And in the participle, which is usually translated ing, in Greek, because it is half noun and half verb, right? The participle, or adjective, I should say, adjective and verb or something like that. Then we could see over here a portioning, even though it's technically a verb, because it's a present participle, then it carries the gender. So I'm trying not to get too technical, but the point being, in this sentence, the main nominative, the main subject, is of course the Spirit. And the Spirit is a noun, but it's neuter. So in Greek, we have masculine, feminine, and neuter. This is just grammatical tags, right? Don't get too confused. Doesn't mean that the Spirit itself is feminine. It's just the Greek word for spirit, which is pneuma, is feminine. And so because the noun is neutral, I'm sorry, I said neuter. I said feminine. In the Hebrew, it's feminine. In the Greek, it's neuter, and in the Latin, it's masculine, right? Go figure. Same word, pneuma, spirit. But the point I'm trying to bring up is that in typical translator fashion, since we have a neuter subject primarily driving the sentence, then it makes sense that if you look at the adjective up here, it's a neuter, right? So the adjective, which is modifying the noun, it can carry gender. The adjective is neuter up here. The pronoun here is also neuter. The articles, which are attached to the nouns, also match the same case, which is the gender, which is going to be neuter here because of the subject being the Spirit. So we can see right away up here, the panta, which is the adjective, that's neuter. The tauta, which is the demonstrative pronoun, this is neuter. The ta is neuter, the article. The adjective next to it, the n, it's neuter. The next article as well, ta, is neuter. And then we have a personal pronoun here, possessive pronoun. Auta is also neuter. This is because the Spirit here is neuter, and this leads us to the verb or the participle. Remember, again, a verb doesn't carry a gender, but because this is a participle, then participles kind of cheat. They do carry genders. So it's neuter. That means when we get all the way over here to the verb at the final end, it doesn't carry in a gender, neuter or otherwise. So this makes sense. I can see now why the Jehovah's Witnesses, I said all that to say this. I can understand why the Jehovah's Witnesses say it, because of the neuter gendered Spirit over here, which can be translated as it. Then we can say it wills with bulatai as opposed to he wills. I'll concede and give them that. Context, we know the Holy Spirit carries other personhood traits that we can see in other verses, but in all fairness to the Jehovah's Witnesses translation, yeah, we could translate it as it, and it wouldn't be too terribly disruptive to understanding the verse, okay? So with that, we'll draw our study to close. We went a little bit over for the Shema study, but I like going a little bit longer on the Shema and not cutting it short.